President Trump has highlighted his administration's efforts against the MS-13 gang. So, of course, the left now supports MS-13. Vox.com has published a video portraying the gang as a bunch of cute teenagers who ride bikes, listen to music, and work after-school jobs.
When you think of the street gang MS-13, what do you see? Maybe something like this. Or this. But what if I told you the typical MS-13 gang member in the U.S. actually looks like one of these young men on Facebook?
The MS-13 members that I've been following are working after-school jobs, they're living with their parents, they get around Long Island on bicycles.
There's no indication that we're seeing a bigger surge of MS-13 than we'd seen in the past.
So basically, MS-13, they're like high school valedictorians with machetes. Timothy Sini is the district attorney of Suffolk County on Long Island and the county's former police commissioner, and he joins us. Tim, these guys are all over your neck of the woods. Are they just like kids doing after-school jobs, riding around on bicycles?
So here are the facts. In 2016 and part of 2017, we saw 17 homicides that MS-13 committed. That's 17 homicides in just 16 months. Two of those homicides were Nisa Mickens and Kayla Cuevas, 15 and 16-year-old girls from Brentwood High School. Another homicide was a quadruple homicide where 4 boys were chopped into little pieces in a park in Central Islip. This is an extremely dangerous gang. I would submit probably one of the most dangerous street gangs that we have in the United States. Thanks to law enforcement's efforts, since that time period, we haven't seen a single confirmed MS-13 homicide, and that's because of the great work of the men and women of law enforcement in Suffolk County.
Now, you guys have a tough stomach for homicides, but even if you're familiar with finding dead bodies, what MS-13 do to their victims, where they actually chop off limbs and you find these guys dismembered and in pieces, these are some of the most vicious organized crime in the country, is it not?
That's exactly right. When they commit a murder, they do it to send a message. They're incredibly brutal. One example, as I already noted, was the four boys in Central Islip. There are plenty other examples. When the 2 girls were murdered in Brentwood, when we first came upon the homicide scene, the injuries were so severe, we actually thought it was a hit and run because the head trauma was so significant. We need to take this gang extremely seriously, and that's exactly what law enforcement is doing across the country. And I applaud everyone's efforts. We're working together to target violent MS-13 gang members, and we're making a difference.
Do you think it helps when someone like Vox.com, which has a lot of influence on the left, basically says, oh, sure, there's like some people who kill people in it, but there's a lot of just nice, cute kids there going along with it, as they might with any after-school activity?
No, it minimizes the threat that this street gang poses, and it minimizes the situation that these communities find themselves in. MS-13 targets young Hispanic boys in neighborhoods that are underserved. Right. It is incredibly important that we target these gang members with aggressive law enforcement tactics, and that we also invest in gang prevention and intervention strategies so that we prevent them from recruiting more members.
Good luck with that. They've done some terrible things out in your part of Long Island, Tim. Thanks very much for joining us tonight.